Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah.
And good afternoon. What's up, friends? How you guys all doing? This is NAT3MILL getting ready for a ReelChat here with Chris Carter, if he is joining us today. Hopefully, I think so. He said he was having some complications or something like that at home. He was changing around his house or something like that. But we are going to carry on in the show business as it is. The show must go on, right? So, what are you guys watching this week? What are you guys seeing? Anything interesting? You know, you got the normal stuff from Marvel, you got the normal stuff from DC and stuff like that, everything that's coming out as it comes out weekly and stuff like that too. I have a couple movies and shows and stuff like that too I've seen also outside of our normal topic that I can't wait to recommend as well too to everyone as well. So I think we should just dive right in and let's go ahead and get ReelChat started. What do you guys all think? I think today we are going to be discussing and going over the superhero exhaustion, so to speak, that I believe everybody else is having. I certainly am starting to feel the feel the mode a little bit as well too. It seems like everything these days is either a superhero show, a spin-off, something like a superhero show from DC or Marvel, but not technically DC or Marvel. I'm talking about like The Boys and everything else. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good stuff. It just, me personally, has felt like after Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans hung up the shield and put down the armor, I don't know. It's just not the same thing anymore, and I can start feeling the exhaustion from it as well too. I'm looking for other stuff, you know, giving space for movies to be more than just Marvel and more than just DC. Don't get me wrong, I still love the occasional Batman, Superman, and stuff like that too. I'm sure I'll see them, but they are not really what makes me interested in watching movies and TV anymore. If anything, I like watching movies like I can't wait to finish Reminiscent. It's got Hugh Jackman. It's on HBO Max. I'm getting a very much a Inception, Christopher Nolan kind of vibe from that, and I am excited to watch that. I think we started watching it last night, and with this new schedule, I got really tired. So hopefully I'm going to start streaming more games again as well too, moving forward, and I hope to do more of that as well. So those that are watching and following me and my followers, thank you so much. I cannot do this without you. I really do appreciate all your support and all your input, really, honestly, on my social media, TikTok, YouTube channel as well too. Really do appreciate that. Last week I've been playing a little bit more Apex and Splitgate, try to get better. I think my aiming on Apex is actually back to where I feel like it should be at. So we'll hopefully do more of that later. Hey, there's Chris. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm so sorry I just got in, but I hopped on as soon as I could. How are things?
Good, man. Good. Just talking about the stuff that's going on with the stream and talking about my new work schedule. Today was my first day as a TM in my job, so I'm exhausted.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
I've been up since 1:30. Even more than that, I should say. Like I was up at 12, getting ready to go. But I played.
Shit, bro.
Yeah, I've been going to bed at like 5 p.m. 6 p.m. I might go to bed at 6 tonight because I woke up at like 11:30 and just hung out in bed because I was awake, but I wasn't tired enough to go back to sleep. So I'm still trying to get that sleep schedule down. But anyway,
I believe.
Yeah, enough about me. Yeah. No, I was gonna say enough about me. How what's going on with you? You guys are changing shit around over at your place too, right?
Bro, yes, we got a new roommate, 2 new roommates on. I think it was what day today? Today's Sunday. They came in, I believe, Friday evening. AJ Kincaid, who was in Overwatch, and his wife, who
married.
Dude, right? Kept on the download hardcore. Yes, he's married.
Congratulations to him if he's watching the show right now. Thank you. Congrats, AJ. What's up, Sweet Dragon? Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you.
And I will say that they hit the ground running. I'll say this, that his wife, she is training to be, I believe, an aerial teacher. And he is, right now, he said he would totally do this Marvel thing we're talking about. But he is in a mocap class that's being taught by one of the guys that played Ghidorah's head in Godzilla King of Monsters. If you can believe that shit.
He played a head? Like in the new one?
Yeah.
Like the guy that's teaching the class is some kind of lizard-looking man from like Rick and Morty? Like that's AJ's class right now, because he should definitely be in this show then, so I could talk to him about like what is it? Speak lizard like it speaks snake.
No, if only. No. But yeah, so he's doing that, and so next time we talk about some Marvel stuff, some DC stuff, he said he'd totally be down to be on. So that's exciting.
Cool.
It's been super hectic here at our house.
By the way, what do you think of the new light? I just got it, so I'm pretty stoked. I think it looks great. It's definitely a great addition to the setup. I needed a light.
I love it.
Does it look good?
Fantastic. Oh my god, yeah.
Awesome.
That's
Thank
fantastic.
you. I'm exhausted, so I need a lot of stimulation right now to keep me awake.
I love how it looks. It looks like a legit key light. It's got a really good eye light feature. Yeah, that's looking good, my friend. Looking real good.
Good. Glad to hear it. Well, let's jump into our topic today, guys. And we were talking about superhero exhaustion, movies and shows and stuff like that too. Do you think it's still going the way it should be? Has it changed? Are you kind of tired of them now? Because in my opinion, if we look, like, let's take a look at this, right? Let's look at this alone on this, right? What we got here? All these movies are coming up. Guess how far out movies from Marvel and DC are going? Just give me a year, you think, that they have planned
2012, 2010?
2012, 2010. Are you living in the past, Chris? It's 2021 now.
Well, I thought you meant when they started.
No, go how far out? No.
They're going to, my bad.
Yeah.
Let's do 2027.
Probably, but just from here alone, if we look at this, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is not coming out until 2023, ladies and gentlemen. That's 2 years from now, and probably around this time period too. Probably either summer or at least holiday season, right?
Definitely summer.
That's so long out, man. Do you remember watching like the first couple phases of Marvel shows and movies and stuff like that? They were coming out back to back and stuff. I understand COVID's been a drag on a lot of stuff, but my goodness, dude, we have to wait for that long to see Peter Quill and all those guys again.
Well,
it's nuts.
And it sucks because of the way.
That's
COVID
just that one.
But you're right. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I kind of hope the sizzle dies down, and it's a couple of things, right? It's
when you say sizzle, go ahead and tell the audience what do you mean by sizzle. Like, what is that? Like, what do you mean?
Well, for me, I mean, when we first saw, think back when it was 2012 when Avengers first came out, when we saw Chris Evans, RDJ, Ruffalo, ScarJo. When we had all of these guys on camera, it was incredible. It was amazing. It was something that people had to see. But we've seen that 3 additional times, and if you count Civil War, which kind of feels like an Avengers film itself, that's 4 times. In the span of 10 years, it's like, you can only see something that's incredible once before it becomes ordinary.
That's a very good point, honestly. I mean, Like, what's exciting about the lineup right now that are coming out? I mean, Eternals, it looks interesting. It wasn't really shot as most Marvel movies were done on like green or blue screen, right? It was actually out in this area at some point, and hearing the stories from Angelina Jolie's interviews and stuff like that, it seems like an interesting set. They had to be evacuated because they found a live Nazi bomb on the island that they were filming at. Those kind of stories are always interesting.
Hold on.
You didn't know about that? Yeah, like the Eternal cast, they were filming on an island. They go in and they found a live Nazi bomb on the island, and they had to evacuate everybody, the whole set, the crew, the cast, and stuff like that too. And it was like really exciting and stuff. So
holy shit.
That's kind of cool. I mean, I hear that stuff, but you're right. I mean, it's Marvel. We've pretty much seen it, right? I mean, we've never the only thing that's really surprising for me right now is like what James Gunn did is that what made Suicide Squad different is he put different characters into the movie that we really know about or see, right? So Carnage, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see that one a little bit more than anything else, really, because I've never seen Carnage in live screen, right? That's gonna be
true.
interesting.
That's true.
But I mean, the Batman, I'm excited to see a vampire turn into a man bat. That'd be interesting. I'm excited. It looks interesting. It looks dark the way that DC movies are. But like to give you like the Quantumanium, Doctor Strange, and the multi. I mean, I hear about that. I'm like, cool. I mean, whenever they come out, I guess. It's not something like I have to see this. Like the first like 2 years, 3 years into Marvel, I'm like, holy shit, have you seen Iron Man or Iron Man 2 and Thor 2 and stuff like that? I can't wait. Let's go see the theater, right? The energy has died down. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me speaking out my ass. But
I don't think so. And to compound that point is also the people that kind of we grew up with. You talked about Iron Man and Captain America, and it's like I'm not, and this is me speaking just objectively. I'm not excited to see Eternals because none of those people are in that. The people that I'm used to, and I don't want to start over. Like I'm going to be 43 in May. I enjoy these type of popcorn flicks, but I'm not. The first time I saw Iron Man, I think I was 29.
Help me.
So it's like
I need younger people on my podcast. I'm talking to a 43-year-old. What the hell? Just drop that bomb and just like skate over it.
but with that comes a lot of knowledge too, because when I look at these films, I analyze them to a point where I'm not just, oh, that's an awesome explosion. It's like, no, tell me a story. It's different for me now, and so I'm like, for instance, Tenet. Chris Nolan's Tenet was, Nolan's places a very articulate film. He's a smart director. So
it's definitely definitely different, right? Like for example, I was going to say Dune. I'm more excited to see Dune than really anything that's on the screen right now.
Yeah. Danny, and he's got a wonderful eye as a director. So that's one of those things where when you watch him, he really has a love for the material too. So that's absolutely great. I will say this though, that his comments about watching it in theaters, I don't agree with that. Because first of all, do you know what he said? Have you heard?
Well, I mean, the audience probably hasn't, so go ahead and paraphrase.
Okay. So what he said was, if you watch Dune at home, which you will because HBO Max has their entire slate for the rest of the year, it's basically akin to driving a speedboat in your bathtub. And he's trying to say to get people out to go see the theaters.
I want to see it in theaters. I'll spend money on it. I mean, it's Dune, right? It's like it's an event movie. It's like what you talk about with Godzilla and King Kong. You wanted to see that in theaters, right? That was like your monster movie.
But the big difference was the director didn't lean. And that's
true. Okay, I guess so. Yeah, but I mean, for example, who doesn't love the movie experience, right? Even if you don't spend money on popcorn and stuff like that too, it's Dune. The score looks amazing. The freaking cinematic experience and the environment looks huge. Like in the trailers, like huge battles for that and kind of stuff like that, right? So I'm excited about that. They got a killer cast. I probably will see that one in theaters when it comes out in October because they moved it up. They even did us a solid and moved it up an extra 2 months.
Well, yeah, and I guess the biggest problem is that I think that the fallout, and again, I know we're going to talk about this, not this episode, but another episode, of how the Hollywood schedule of releasing films is changing, the streaming service versus theatrical releases. Plus, the directors and actors get money on the back end. We're seeing that unfold in real time with Scarlett Johansson.
Exactly, and, yeah, Scarlett Johansson, and who else is doing it?
Well, no.
There's two actresses that are doing it right now.
Emma Stone talked about doing it because she wanted to see how it turned out because she was in Cruella. But I mean, they did this. I think that that with Rock and Emily Blunt, and with Emily Blunt in A Quiet Place 2, her and Krasinski had the same issue, and I understand that. But when these contracts are written up, which would have been 3 years ago, this is something I'm getting from a Hollywood Reporter. Nobody knew about the pandemic, so nobody knew.
Yeah, you couldn't really see that coming.
Sure.
So half the business side of the studios are like, yes, we got to retain this money. Half of them are like, crap, we're losing so much money.
Right, and of course, we look at it and what Disney did, and I don't think it's a great move for them to do. Was it they released for salary? Movie stars make a shit ton of money. We know that. We don't even know that ScarJo makes $25 million for Black Widow. We didn't know that RDJ made $50 million for Infinity War. What I mean? We don't. They make a ton of. We don't need to know. What we need to know is that actors are being treated fairly by these studios because in the same instance,
financially,
we're in
and
the
then
game,
also
right?
On a level of being humane, right?
Right. Is it fair?
Yeah.
Right?
Is it fairly done and stuff like that in regards to male actors and actresses and stuff like that too? And in my opinion, the people that really don't get enough credit in film, if we're really going to talk about that, are the stuntmen. Choreographers and stuff like that too. There's no Oscar for stunt work, but guess what? Why we see movies is because of the trailers. What do the trailers say most of the time? Action. And who's it doing it? It's not Chris Evans most of the time, or even Ryan Reynolds. It's the stuntmen doing that stuff, selling those pieces to us as the audience. And I still stand by my buddy Bobby Dazzler out there, man. I'm with you, man. Every single year you come out and post it, I share the hell out of it. Stuntmen deserve an Oscar. 100%.
Yeah,
they do. But I'm gonna get off my podium for a little bit here. We're not just talking about movies, guys. We're talking about TV shows as well too, right? I'm more excited I know we're going to talk about What If here in a little bit, just the episode, just to recap it itself as well too, and I've got some slides for that as well too for you guys. But I'm more excited about shows that people really don't know about or not seen or are original, like Y the Last Man. That's going to be an original take. I know it came from a comic, but it's not like a superhero movie. You know, it's not the same thing day in, day out. You have the hero's journey. He gets his powers. He has to fight and overcome something, either himself or an enemy or a people, stuff like that. It's like the same story day in and day out.
But isn't that fun? Like we not the new shit I'm talking about, not the fact that we've kind of been beat over the head. And I'm gonna put White.
I was gonna say that's definitely not. No, I was gonna say that's definitely not fun. That's really why I'm saying it's not fun. But no, I agree. Yes, I can't wait for finding new original stuff. Absolutely.
And I accidentally put a line of my script into the chat. So I meant to put Why the Last Man.
You're not cleaning your house. You're writing a script.
No, I'm at my house, but I've always got my script up, so don't worry about it.
Dane leans out the window. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who's Dane? Tell us Dane's story there, Chris. All right. Throw yourself under the bus.
Maybe that'll be.
Caught him sleeping, boys. Caught him sleeping.
I will say that I'm more excited for original content than superhero content. Kind of just piggybacking off of what we said earlier today. Why Last Man? What We Do in the Shadows is a wonderful comedy, also on FX.
Yep.
Just like Why Last Man will be, and that drops this weekend too. So that's a big one I'm looking forward to.
I haven't really gotten into it. I know that you mentioned it before, that you've watched it and stuff like that. I had a roommate that just used to say the same line over and over again, so I'm like, okay, whatever. But it's definitely interesting. I love Taika Waititi, and I love where it came from and stuff like that too. And it's definitely a very comedic take. You know, it's very, what was it called? Talking Heads kind of thing, where almost like shot like The Office. Somebody's following around
documentary.
with
like it looks like a documentary.
Yeah, documentary vampire, and it's like not too serious, right? But it is serious in some standpoints. It doesn't take itself too serious like Vampire Diaries or something like that. Yeah, I agree. It looks good, and it's definitely good. So, you saw What If episode 2, right?
I did.
Okay, what did you think?
Honestly, for me, it was really. And I'm gonna preface myself. I have not seen Guardians 2. I just never.
The movie?
I was never. Yeah, I've never saw Guardians 2.
Why? Okay. Wow. Interesting.
It just, again, I just didn't feel like I never saw Ant-Man and the Wasp or Ant-Man 2. Like some of the Marvel films I'll check in with. Most of them I do, but not all of them.
Did you see Black Panther?
Oh, I did see Black Panther, yeah. So I know about this one. And I thought it was an interesting kind of combination of having Thanos in there, too. Like having him sitting there talking with Gamora, having a drink, Gamora calling, Star-Lord Cha-Cha. I thought that was cool. I thought that was clever. And, hearing Chadwick's voice, I guess this was the last thing he did for Disney before he passed away.
Yeah.
Was interesting. It was fantastic.
They brought this cast itself. I think except for Drax was actually still the same cast playing the roles again. You had the guy who played Thanos. Josh Brolin come back. You had Digimon come back and play the Ravager guy.
He's so good in that.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. That opening scene between him and Star-Lord, who is, in this instance, what if he was taken by the Ravagers as opposed to Peter Quill, right? Let's talk about that for a second. When he first gets abducted, the kid is totally nonchalant. I'm sorry. There's a blue guy talking to me. I understand you live in Wakanda and you've seen some weird stuff, but you've never seen space or aliens before. So that scene kind of like took me out of the element just a little bit. Right there off the bat. He was like totally fine with it at the very beginning. And then the fight between the Digimon, the Ravager and stuff like that, and the Star-Lord, it was way too comical for me.
Oh, definitely.
It was way too... it went over the top where it's like, oh, I'm sorry I hit you and stuff like that too. And I'm like, just freaking fight! I'm sitting there 5 minutes into the second episode of What If, and I turned to Rachel. I'm like, I'm out of it kind of already. This is not interesting.
Really?
Yeah, no, it wasn't interesting to me. It was just very slow. The first one was okay. They told you what it was. The stuff happened pretty quick that changed the story. And then it took off from there. And, it continued moving at a good pace. This one, it just like moments where it's like, okay, they're talking again. All right. And he's in space. And he's in a new spot. And he made a friend. Okay. What's going to happen next? Give me something else. Thanos came in. That was pretty cool. Gamora being played by Kate Karen Gillan again, that was great too. The little stuff, the little nods and stuff like that too. Kraglin, all the same actors and stuff like that was pretty great. Even the Collector was played by Benicio del Toro again. Yeah. You know, and that was great to see the Collector actually, instead of just being a guy that has stuff, he actually was more like he was in the comics. He fought people and he used the stuff that he had, right? So it was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that the Black Order were fighting Thanos and stuff like that too. You know, his pretty much his children, because the Black Order were all people just like Gamora and Nebula that he adopted from these different worlds that have now pretty much prepared to be with him. You know. Also,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and also the Collector, the stuff that he uses, we've seen that before. You know, we've seen the Goddess of Death's headpiece and what she can do. We've seen the dagger, the shield. Like I was expecting to see a little bit more stuff when he started fighting them. You know.
Yeah.
That's just me. Like it was just like a rehashing of stuff that we've already seen.
Well, but that's the game, right? The game is they're just changing subtleties to it. When you see Captain America, like the clip they're playing right now, you see it when you still see Thor's hammer on there.
I guess, but it wasn't like,
you know,
like the first one. We got to see different stuff. We saw a monster, right? We got to see Steve Rogers in the Iron Man suit and stuff like that. This was like just stuff we've seen before. They just moved it around. It was like nothing new. What I'm saying is it was nothing new to me. That's what I guess is what turned me off at the second episode.
Well, I mean, maybe that's true. I mean, maybe they felt like, honestly, they felt that the strongest episode so far was the first episode, and now that, you know, I think there's a huge sentimental value attached to, you know, Chadwick Boseman and how successful Black Panther was for you know, the MCU. So maybe having him involved in this one, they were hoping to really gab. I enjoyed it. I did not like it. I mean, these are all fun for me. They're all just enjoyable. It's a PG cartoon. It's got some of, you know, the actors that were in these movies that we've grown up with for the past 12 years, and you just enjoy it for what it is. I'm not, you know what I mean? So
I know. I'm just expecting a little bit more, I guess, at this point. Like we've been talking about, we're kind of exhausted from seeing the same things over and over again.
Sure.
So when you have to watch another show to say maybe this might be canon and be spoon-fed the same stuff, just rehashed a different way and not be different in any way, shape, or form. It's an animated movie. That's one of the things I praised about the first episode was like how many different things they were able to do. Most of these scenes are pretty much word for word and step by step from what we got in the movie. That's my thing.
That's true for the first one too, because even when she's in there from the first episode, from Captain America: The First Avenger, you get a lot of what we saw in episode 1 from What If coming from that. I mean, you can almost take it verbatim. So you can make that thing.
But the fact that she's in the tube and that's about it. There was no car chase afterwards. The guy got shot right there. This whole scene right here on the screen.
They had to cliff note it. You know, it's half an hour episode over an hour and 45-minute movie.
Okay, let me repeat myself again. Then I guess I didn't make it clear. It's pretty much the same people in the same situation saying the same words, just different characters.
Well, that's probably how it's going to be for a little bit, I would imagine. So.
Maybe, man. I like I said, it's just, that's my qualms with the show, so to speak.
Well,
you know, that's why I don't like it.
If you look at the poster, if you look at the poster, we do have like at one point we have Gamora. It looks like she's carrying Thanos' weapon, so I think that'll be a drastic change. We've got the zombies.
So you think these people are going to come back in future episodes?
I don't know. That's an excellent question. We do see there is a Star-Lord in there's a Guardians episode too. So who's the Star-Lord in that Guardians episode? You know, if it's
I don't know. Maybe they do the Guardians in a different. Maybe Rocket's actually the captain. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So.
But no. I mean that's just it. I'll watch the third one. What to 2 days from now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Wednesday.
Like I said, I still think this is like I don't know. Saturday night because I was up at 12.
I guess it's true.
But I'm exhausted, dude. I think I'm gonna go pass out here in a little bit. But also we're gonna start doing this as well too at the end of the show. It is time for new content for Chris to try. A different show or movie for him to watch or try. He probably won't because I'm pretty sure since April he hasn't watched the Supernatural episodes I gave him.
Oh, I did see one episode.
You saw one?
All
right, I'll give you credit for seeing one.
It's a little cartoony for me, and I will say this about
which episode did you watch? The actual Scooby-Doo one?
No, the very first one, the pilot episode.
The pilot? Okay. Also remember that pilot came out in like 2001.
Right, I know, but if we're going to start a series, I'm going to start from the beginning. And I always say that by this: the first season of a series usually isn't very good. It's okay. Breaking Bad was really good. 24 was really good. The Office is really good. Anyway, Entourage is really good. But you can tell that season 2 is where the money kicks in, right? Season 2 is when they start getting funding, so it gets better. But I tend to, to me, it looked a little. It was a little soft.
I will say one thing, and then I won't argue anymore because you're talking about one of my favorite shows. It's the longest lasting TV show. It definitely had the fans, definitely had the ratings, and definitely had the money for the longest freaking time.
Yeah, on the CW.
15 years, man. 15 years. Nobody else can really say that.
I mean, you have to look at it too, because for instance, CW, what else do they have? Like, that was their flagship for a long time, right? Yeah, they had, the DC verse on television.
Yeah, they had Arrow, they had Smallville, they had Vampire Diaries. There was a lot of stuff that was on that show. It wasn't just Supernatural. But I'm saying that they had a lot of good shows. But besides this, we're not talking about Supernatural. He tried putting on the gloves. I'm not going to let him get into it. It's not going to happen. We had that. Watch that on YouTube. But anyway, I'm going to show you a trailer here real quick. Just the ending of it. Because I will say this for YouTube's credit. All content that is shown in this podcast is used for critiqued and reviews under safeguarded by the Fair Use Act. I have to keep putting that in front of my videos because I want a claim against them on YouTube. So here we go. This is on Netflix. Here's your next movie, Chris, that you can watch. Just came out a couple days ago, and I actually really liked it. Think you might too. Oh, it didn't even play it. I didn't switch it over. That's my bad. That's my bad. Hold on. I need to switch it over. My bad.
That's okay.
All right, we're going back to the live screen. There we go. All right.
All right, let's see what this is.
Dad, what are you planning to do?
Is this Jason Momoa?
It is.
It's not Jason. I'm not going to watch anything with Jason Momoa.
I just need to accept
You're right.
this.
I know you're fighting for us. But this is my fight too.
Who's the girl? That's not really a fuck. Who's the girl?
You going after powerful people was a dangerous business.
As long as we're together, we're still a family.
Just came out on Netflix, man. It's great. I really enjoyed it. Rachel really liked it too. I think you might too as well. So you definitely should check that out.
I'm never going to watch that.
What do you mean you're never going to watch that?
This is why you don't get to tell me what to watch, because that looks horrible. And Jason Momoa.
You're such a hater, bro. What gives you the right of just saying it looks horrible?
That's bad. If you want to pull up a trailer, we watched something last night on HBO Max called The Reminisce with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, you came in late. I actually just talked about that.
Did you watch it?
I watched half of it and I fell asleep, so I'm going to watch the rest of it with Rachel.
This is why it works well, Nate, because you watch some things I'm never going to watch, and I watch some things you're never going to watch.
I'm going to watch it. What do you mean never going to watch it? I just said I watched half of it.
I thought you were going to watch it. I thought you fell asleep halfway through it.
I just said I fell asleep through halfway through it, and Rachel and I are going to finish it.
Oh.
My goodness gracious. Jumping the gun. Come on, Chris.
It's not bad.
But no, okay, so why don't you like Jason Momoa? I see you, Freya. Freya wants some attention.
I don't think Jason
Freya
Momoa
wants some attention.
And I don't mean this against him. I'm sure he's a very nice dude. Nothing against him personally. It's just I haven't seen him show a lot of acting range in the things I've seen him do.
Okay, so like what have you seen him do outside of Aquaman and Game of Thrones?
What else has he been in outside of Aquaman and Game of Thrones? It's been in
Raven, C was amazing. You should definitely watch that show on Apple TV. It's great.
C is on
second season
on Apple, right?
Apple TV.
Apple?
Yep, Apple TV.
Yeah.
It's second season comes out in about I think 2 months. Cannot wait for it. It's awesome. I watched his show on Netflix as well too. It was Frontier. Great show. Very very much like I would say colonial time frame, stuff like that too, during like the river. What's it called? It's when they were trapper. He was a trapper and stuff like that. It was okay. It was slow at some points, but I really liked all of his scenes. He definitely stole the scene every single time he was in it. And then this thing, and then Braven. Braven was another movie I watched with him as well too.
I don't know, man. Those don't. Yeah, I'm not a Schmo fan, you know. But
He asked the question. Nathan came back swinging. What up? What else has he been in? Like, let me go ahead and do. Let me give you my internet movie database of Nathan.
They haven't been talked about being successful. You might like them, but that doesn't mean that they're any good. I like things that aren't very good either. Right? There's some things that I enjoy that probably nobody. I like Godzilla. Right? A lot of people don't like Godzilla, but I like Godzilla because Jesse was into it. I haven't heard much of those things that you mentioned about Momoa.
Okay.
They haven't come out and said, yeah, this guy's carrying the torch. He has grown up so much from playing fucking Game of Thrones. Like, he is now a qualified actor. Nobody has said that.
Well, I would say give this one a chance. I know you will disregard everything I just said, but I still think that you should definitely give it a chance and watch it. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll see. There's some stuff
It
that
had a twist that I didn't see coming, which I thought was very, very interesting. I really liked a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, Netflix is putting a lot of original content out. I mean, they killed it, was it last year? And this
Definitely
year
an original movie. I'll tell you that much.
You know, Extraction, and then The Old Guard, which was a comic book, but still, I mean, those things were fantastic. I think 6 or 7.
Chris knew that was a comic book series. Well done.
Only because you had brought it up, I think. I think we had talked about it way back, and then you had brought it up. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, so that's our show tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. That did. I appreciate you very much for joining me here today, and Chris. And we're doing this every Sunday at 3 p.m. Please comment, subscribe, follow us on YouTube and stuff like that too. I post on my Instagram every about half an hour before I go live anyway. Try and see if anybody wants to join in the chat and answer or ask questions. Thank you so much. Chris, what do we talk about next week? We're going to do Quiet Place finally?
I would love to do a Quiet Place. That would be a great one to have. And, you know, honestly, something big. I want to talk about what we do in the shadows. I will watch your Momoa-ism. I'll follow the Momoa-ism, if you will. If you watch What We Do in the Shadows.
Really? Because it took you. How long ago did you start watching that Supernatural one? Once I told you.
Here's the thing about Supernatural, and this is what I mentioned. I don't like starting series from the beginning when they're episodic, with 22 episodes long, and there's 20 seasons. That's fucking. I'm making a movie, bro. I'm writing a movie. I'm getting ready to go into production for one. You know, like, I'm not going to start and watch fucking 20 seasons of this show that I might or may not even like. I'll watch 2 episodes, and then we'll see if it catches on. I'll give you 2 hours. So this Momoa thing better be less than 2 hours.
I think it's less than 2 hours. I don't think it's that long.
I'm sure it is.
I don't think it's that long.
You can't act that long, bro. You can't act that long. They'll be good.
Well, let's see. Okay, so you said not Quiet. We said Quiet Place 2, and you said What We Do in the Shadows. I'll see if I can get to it, man. Absolutely. This is the first week at this new position. It's been kicking my butt a little bit, but my dogs want attention, so I'm going to let them out and go hang out with them in my backyard before I pass out somewhere. I need a drink. It's good talking to you, Chris. Hey, let's play some games, because I'm actually turning up my stream. This week I'm going to start playing some horror games that Rachel's talked me into that are gonna freak me the fuck out, bro. Hopefully you can watch. There's one that's called The Mortuary's Assistant, another one called the Summer 58, when you have to like survive. It's very first person. You have to survive this area, go around and collect clues and stuff like that, while people or things try and kill you. So
sounds incredible. Hell yeah!
Hopefully you can jump into the stream and catch me screaming my head off like a little girl. I don't like horror stuff. I freak out when I watch horror stuff, so that's going to be coming up here pretty soon.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. This has been ReelChat with NAT3MILL and every Sunday at 3 p.m. right here live on Twitch, guys. Thank you so much for following us and taking care of us. We appreciate you. We couldn't do this without you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.